Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 735th reaction of the Super Saiyan Performance Encore YouTube channel. This is going to be my first ever reaction to A-Aron reacts to Lucy Thomas, the song Woman in Love. So, I'm excited to check this one out. Shout out to the person that requested this. Shout out to @AnnaCruz4642 for this request. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below in the comment section for any request. Type the artist, song by the artist, and I'll make sure to react to it. Same thing with Throwback Thursday. If you guys have any Lucy Thomas requests, be sure to comment below and I'll make sure to react to it. Let's get straight into the video.
Yes, there is an overtone on that. My goodness. Listen to that. Hey, welcome back to AronReacts. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. I am super excited to be back at it. It's been almost 2 months since I last made a video, guys. And I needed a break. I've been going for a year straight since I started this channel and needed a break. So super happy to be back. And I got many additional requests. Buy me a coffee. Super thanks. Multiple people I want to thank here in just a minute. Really going to town supporting Lucy. And so I could not be more excited for my very first reaction back to be doing Lucy Thomas, Woman in Love. This one came highly requested by you all, and your voice was clear, and here we are. So super excited.
And same thing with y'all. You don't deny it. You guys kept bombarding me in the comments with Woman in Love. No joke. You guys kept like, Sam, you need to do Woman in Love. Need to do Woman in Love. Need to do Woman in Love. I'm like, fine.
As we get into it, and guys, I'm going to make a very strong effort in listening to it all the way through and then going back and trying to comment and pinpoint.
Turns out that you guys weren't wrong. Woman in Love's amazing.
I want to thank here in just a minute, really going to town supporting Lucy. And so I could not be more excited for my very first reaction back to be doing Lucy Thomas, Woman in Love. This one came highly requested by you all, and your voice was clear, and here we are. So super excited as we get into it. And guys, I'm going to make a very strong effort in listening to it all the way through and then going back and trying to comment and pinpoint. So I'm going to do my best. That's going to be really hard because I've done one of these for a little while and I'm super anxious, but we'll see what we do. But I do want to spend a moment and give a little thanks and shout out to several people here who have supported me. And so first and foremost, Mike F., who has bought quite a few coffees and has made several requests to promote more Lucy in general. So I want to continue to support you, Mike. Thank you for supporting me. Colin, who bought me some coffees, who has some specific suggestions, Colin 4763. And then Anna Cruz, oh my goodness, Anna Cruz has tried to ping me on every which way multiple times. Super thanks. Buy me a coffee. You've been pinging me and bothering me trying to get me to do this, and my apologies, I was on a bit of a respite. But coming back, this is literally the first video I'm doing, and it's to honor all of you, but especially you, Anna, for really saying, yo, hitting me in the face and saying, I'm trying to get your attention. I see you, I'm here, I'm super excited. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Lucy Thomas, Woman in Love. Oh my gosh, this is a hit. Look, this came out in 1980. Or at least the big hit, #1 worldwide, Barbra Streisand, Babs, Woman in Love. Oh my goodness, it was a huge hit. I was born in '79, so in my early years, I know this song. I haven't heard it for quite a while, but it was hugely popular by Babs. And come on, she is up there with some of the most elite vocal phenoms. I mean, she's a living legend. And, when you do a Babs song, you better deliver. And the fact that all of you are pinging me and ringing my bells saying, yo, check this out, I already know Lucy's going to deliver here. So I could not be more excited. I am ready to go. Let's dive in. Lucy Thomas, Woman in Love. Here we go. Let's go!
Before we get into it, yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I didn't realize Barbra Streisand was as popular as he pointed out just now. But, Second of all, Anna Cruz. I'm laughing because in a good way, you were also, in a good way constantly telling me, like, I need to react to Woman in Love. A reminder, this was before I reacted to it. You were like, Sam, do Woman in Love. It was not just you, it was everyone. It was like, react to Woman in Love. Oh, I request you do Woman in Love. Well, I did it, and I mean, I can see why you guys were quote unquote bombarding me in the comments with that song.
To deliver here, so I could not be more excited. I am ready to go. Let's dive in. Lucy Thomas, Woman in Love. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Life is a moment in space. When the dream is gone, it's a lonely place. I kiss the morning goodbye, but down inside, you know you never know why.
He's already enjoying this, and we're only a few seconds in.
Yes.
I turn away from the wall. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all. I am a woman in love.
Yeah.
I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within. It's
Alright, before we continue on, yeah, I mean, what his reaction so far is what my reaction basically was, what my reaction has been throughout this entire Lucy Thomas journey, throughout this entire Lucy Thomas rabbit hole. His reaction right now has been my reaction for this entire journey of reacting to this girl. Her voice and everything is just outstanding.
with you eternally mine. In love there is no measure of time. We planned it all at the start, that you and I live in each other's hearts. We may be oceans away, you feel my love, I hear what you say. No truth is ever a lie. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all.
That's what blew me away.
And hold you within. It's alright if
Lucy, I'm just gonna say something real quick, and then we'll continue. I don't want to make this reaction another like 17-minute long video stream, but like the last one, but man, this Lucy's voice, just the way that her voice is, it just hits you in a certain spot. Not me particularly, but a lot of people, a lot of reactors specifically that I watch, it just hits them in a certain spot where it's just
Over and over again. What do I do?
he's already tearing up.
I am alone and in love, and I'm talking to you.
It's already hit him.
I know how it feels, what a woman can do. It's a lonely fan, over and over again. I am a woman in love. I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within. It's a lonely fan, over and over again.
Alright, before he talks real quick, before he says what he has to say, I'm gonna say what I have to say, and that is that there's nothing that's better than there's nothing that is better than Lucy's voice. I'm sorry, there's just not. When you hear Lucy's voice and you compare that to literally anyone else, it's just, you know, like it's honestly not even a competition at this point, and honestly, I feel like, yeah. Don't hate me in the comments, because you know it's true.
Wow. Wow. That was intense. That had absolutely everything. And even before I go back and listen to it again and analyze it, guys, I'm crying. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I almost got tell me, I'm not gonna lie, I almost got emotional when I was talking about that. For some reason, I have no idea why, I almost got emotional, honestly. I didn't, but almost. But he did.
I almost feel like she's arrived. Like, was it even possible for her to keep growing? But it almost feels like she's got this new level of confidence here. Like she's soared to new heights. And you know what? There aren't many times where you will hear me swear on this channel. But I feel like I need to right now. I really do. As much of a legend as Barbra Streisand is, I just want to say, move the fuck over, Barbara. Just sorry, but this just gave this song a whole new life, a whole new meaning.
Yeah, honestly. And for what honestly, like, to think about it, when songs, so this is how I see it, right? This is my opinion. Don't judge me, this is my opinion. But, I honestly feel like when songs, when you have an old song, like, for example, let's put Woman in Love, for example, right? Barbra Streisand sang it, it was popular, it was amazing. Barbra Streisand was popular, but so was this song. This song was super popular. Everyone was listening, just about everyone was listening to it constantly, it was amazing. But when you have it's honestly funny how when you have an old song that originally was popular when it originally came out, it died for a little bit. I'm not saying Woman in Love died. I'm talking about other songs. They died for a little bit just because they're getting a little bit old. A new artist or someone covers it, like Lucy Thomas, it sprouts back up again. You know what I mean? Like it. Tommy might know what I mean. But no. Lucy, any song she covers makes it sprout up again. Whether it's already been popular for several years, or it is like a brand new song that has never been popular until this day, right? Lucy is just one of those people where when it comes to her voice specifically, her voice and everything else, she makes that song popular. She makes fans want to genuinely listen consistently to that song. And I feel like that's one of the main things, her voice obviously, but that's also one of the main things that makes Lucy Lucy. That's one of the main things that makes Lucy who she is as a singer, a person, an artist, and everything else is because she gives songs new life. What A-Rod just mentioned. A-Ron, sorry. What AronReacts just mentioned here. She gives songs, every song that she covers, she gives it brand new life. Every single time.
This just gave this song a whole new life, a whole new meaning. Lifted it up to whole new levels, dimensions. My goodness. Okay, we are going to unpack this, and I do want to check a couple things out. We're going to go back and we'll listen to it, and I'm going to point out some things I heard. I heard many, many things right from the get-go. I'm super anxious to get into this. Many things that she did similar to Barbara, many things she chose on her own path. But I do want to say that structurally, she maintained the same structure. In fact, it's more or less the same instrumentation, the same backing tracks. I think it's pretty close to the same tempo, if not right there. It might even be the same key. I'll check that when I take a break. And so it's homage to Barbara. It's homage to Babs, right? She's paying her respects. She's not trying to show up. Barbara, but boy, did she. She absolutely did here. I mean, there is no question about it. My goodness. This was just next level. This is absolutely the best I've heard her. She just keeps getting better.
Better and better every time she does one. Every time she does a song, it's just better and better as it goes on. Good voice, but I get moved by the person who writes a certain song and performs it with emotion, whether a great voice or not. Exactly. Yes. And what I was about to mention right now, what this pause was mainly for, was for me to mention that, look, yeah, Lucy is just an incredible singer, incredible artist, incredible person. I'm trying to figure out exactly what... If we had a battle, okay, put this into perspective. If we had a legitimate battle between Lucy Thomas, a singing battle specifically, between Lucy Thomas and, I don't know, what's another good singer that I react to? Let's say... I don't know. Let's say, actually, no, we're not going to do that because that'll start a whole nother conversation that I don't want to start. But basically the point is Lucy has an incredible voice. She hits people in places that, I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of singers do. Or at least that not a lot of singers are able to achieve. And this, I was watching so one of Pentatonix's sing-off performances, they mentioned how, because both the judges, so there was a girl judge, two guy judges. The girl judge was mentioning how the two guy judges were crying after their performance. And she was mentioning how that's what good artists do. That's what good artists do. They tell stories and they get to people. They get to people's emotions. That's what good artists do. And that's what Lucy does.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me break for a quick sec. Okay, I did just take a break and took a look, and it is in the same key, same register as Barbara, which right from the get-go, it really surprised me in her head voice and how she maintained that same sentiment as Barbara from the opening notes, whereas, you know, Lucy's range is just flawless anywhere. There's no doubt about it. But she's one of those people that I always felt like she has a stronger sound and she feels more comfortable on the lower side of the register. And that...
By the way, I'm sorry guys, I didn't realize this was a 32-minute, 15-second video, so it's going to be long.
This light-hearted opening was just fantastic. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to go little bits and pieces and we'll stop and pause and we might rewind a few times and so forth. But I do want to pick this apart a little bit. I do want to say my intent is not to try to compare her to Barbara's version, but I mean, come on, this is a legendary song, right? If you haven't heard this song, then you've been living in a cave, or maybe you're just too young, I don't know, but you know, it's legendary, and so certainly we need to kind of look at it through that lens. And so, and also, not only is it in the same key, but it's also the same tempo. And so, again, she's really paid homage. Now, I do have some notes here, so you might see me doing some reading, because as I took a break, I did a little bit of an analysis in terms of some of the structure and stuff. So, let's just start from the beginning, and I'm gonna add some commentary with some pauses and so forth, right? First things first, in the Barbara version, it's a full, I believe, 8-bar count before the intro. Here it's halved. She does 4. And you can actually hear the beginning of it almost comes in like at the end of the previous measure. So it does feel a little bit like it's cut off. So she's giving more focus to her vocals, her being the centerpiece, and getting rid of a little bit of that intro here. Outside of that, she hasn't changed the structure anywhere else, I don't believe. I think it stays true to the original, other than that intro is kind of cut in half. But she dives right in, and again, we hear that very light head voice, really controlled, just really beautiful sound.
Life is a moment in space when the dream is gone. It's a lonely place.
So there's so many things that are unique to Lucy here that just really stand out from how Barbara does it, right? One, I feel like just overall, not just necessarily in this first phrase, but Lucy feels more legato and connected throughout. But there's some variations that we see, and we'll get into that. But in general, it feels to me like back...
Shout out to Steve Cox in the chat. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Steve. Shout out to Steve Cox in the chat.
Abs is more dreamy. Like she's telling a story, right? She's just kind of...
Bingo. She is telling a story. You guys think I'm the only one? No. I'm not the only one. I mean, that was a joke, by the way. That was a joke, saying that you guys thought I was the only one. That was a joke. No, yes, I do want to point out that, yeah, I mean, just about, if not everyone that reacts to Lucy can pinpoint and agree, not pinpoint, but agree to exactly what I was saying about how good artists tell stories and make people emotional, right? Good artists make people emotional and tell stories. And that's what Lucy is, a good artist. That's what Lucy is. She not only Tommy, I laughed at your comment right there where you said she's also a very good looking young lady to match a very talented voice, which true. Yeah, so Lucy's voice. Again, I'm not going to compare to Barbara or anyone else just because, again, that'll start the comparing conversation that I really do not want to get into right now. But I will say this, and what I'm about to say is I will say that everything that A-Aron reacts is everyone that A-Aron is pointing out right now about Lucy is on point, is exactly what literally I feel like me and every other reactor that reacts to Lucy Thomas currently and still does, that reacts to Lucy Thomas, points out. So I'll say that. Wish I knew if Barbara ever saw this. Yeah, true. If so, I would love to see what Barbara's reaction was. She has to be amazed because Lucy, as much as Barbara's because Barbara's version of this was unbelievable. I reacted to her version of this song, I'm pretty sure, and she did amazing. And Throwback Thursday, I'm pretty sure. But Lucy's version of this one is, again, it's almost like it brings the song new life, in a sense, if that makes any sense. Time difference, Sam, exactly, time difference. But yeah.
Is more dreamy. Like she's telling a story, right? She's just kind of painting a picture. Whereas Lucy is very emotional and she's so engaged. And that's one of the things I noticed. Is you see her bopping and grooving at one point, she's smiling, you see different sides of her, and she builds and she releases tension in different pieces. So it almost feels more emotional. It's more, it paints the meaning of the song in a very different way. Right? She brings out that fierce side of the character in some cases as well. But in general, it's more legato. Now, we do see occasional, I don't recall exactly, but I feel like it's only a couple times in Barbara's version where she deviates from the defined rhythm, which is mostly even eighth notes, and then there's a little bit of syncopation in the way that the melody is structured. And beautiful melody, by the way. I mean, just beautiful song with the Bee Gees. I mean, world class. I mean, obviously, right? Just fantastic. But one of the things I noticed here is at the end of that first phrase, the end of the first four bars, the way that this melody works, the harmony works, really, is it has a feeling of minor. Now, I think it's debatable whether it's
Agree, Tommy, agree. Does anyone happen to know if A-Aron, or A-Aron, if you happen to watch this reaction, if you happen to watch my reaction to this yourself, were you in any music teaching or anything like that? I'm only asking because I'm gonna be honest, it kind of actually seems like you're pointing out a lot of like musical type stuff, like eighth note, and all just a bunch of other stuff. So it got me curious.
Actually in a minor key or major key. But at the end, it actually switches almost officially to minor, and it feels like a major. It feels like a key change. So I'm pretty confident in my analysis, at least initially, that it starts off with a minor feel, but then it kind of transitions at the end of that 4-bar to a major. So you get that kind of dark feeling initially, and most of these moving pieces are in minor, and then the longer notes sustain in a major. In the Babs version, you hear it just kind of almost same consistent feeling and sentiment from Barbra Streisand. But when we switch to major here for Lucy, you actually feel a difference in how she exudes it. Her emotion changes as she gets into that major. Here, I'll show you. Let me pull it.
Life is a moment in space when a dream is gone.
Major.
It's a lonely place.
Right there. My goodness, the difference there, right? Barbara lays into place, but here you hear her really leaning into place as it switches over to major. She gives a new meaning to place. She really gets into it. And on top of that, she sets it up because we got an even keeled rhythm, but then I think it's lone. She actually extends lonely, right? Lone a little bit longer and does that almost syncopated to change that rhythm to kind of almost to what's the word I'm looking for? To change your expectations of what's to come. She creates a little deviation in slight interpretation here, or slight change in interpretation in how she does this, right? So you look, she actually sits on lone for a minute, and then she really dives into that place.
Life is a moment in space when a dream is gone. It's a lonely place.
And look, just immediately you can see how much control she has when she sits on place. You can actually see that vibrato in her throat. You can literally physically see it.
It's a lonely place.
So much control.
I kiss the morning goodbye, but down inside you.
Yeah, and the other thing too is we see with Barbara down.
If no one believes me that you get kind of hot and sweaty under like this light and in front of the monitor screens and stuff, I dare you to try it. I dare you to try it.
Inside. She's almost playing with it a little bit. It's like sigh. It's like cheeky almost, right? Here it's very serious and really emotional and almost legato through it. There's the break. There's still the rhythmic break that the melody holds. So she follows through with the melody, but she continues with that emotional impact where you get a very almost playful tone on that change with Barbara. If you go back and listen to that with Barbara, you'll hear it's almost
True, that is true, Tommy, yeah.
playful. Here, not at all, right? She's really, you're feeling those emotions.
It's the morning goodbye, but down inside you know we never know why. The road is narrow and long when eyes meet eyes, and the feeling is.
Okay, did you catch that? Tell me you caught that. She's looking off to the side, and then she says, when eyes meet eyes. So she looks up and then straight at you with eyes and eyes. I mean, just...
Wait,
The
hold on.
road
side.
is narrow and long when eyes meet eyes.
Oh,
And the
beautiful.
feeling
I didn't even notice that. How come I'm always the last person to notice things?
long when eyes meet eyes.
Oh,
And the
beautiful.
feeling
Well, it's fitting for the line.
I forgot to mention this, but my goodness, she is all over those register flips with a ridiculous amount of control throughout this whole thing, right? They're so subtle. It's almost like a yodel switch. She emphasizes it, and she does it so much here, and it's extremely deliberate. It's controlled. Every bit of what she's doing here is 100% deliberate, and it is just beautiful.
When eyes meet eyes and the feeling is strong, I turn away from the wall. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all.
Okay, there it is. All. And she does it a couple more times after that, I believe. Listen to how she says, I give it all. Or I give you it all, I think it is. I give you, yeah.
I turn away from the wall. I stumble and fall.
Right here.
But I give you it all. I am the woman.
That is great singing or stagecoach. I'm voice cracking all over the place. That is a great sing or stagecoach that taught her that. Ah, nice.
And that they crescendo right into now.
Actually, that makes sense because, actually, yeah, I kind of think, yeah, stage, either singing coach or stage coaches. I would think mainly stage people, stage coaches, teach you like presence, how to act and stuff. So basically body language in a way. So yeah. I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
And that they crescendo right into. Now, Barbara does that wonderfully as well. Beautiful, but just the amount of control is just ridiculous. She just faints into it, into the background book. Now, the other thing I love about this version, as opposed to the Barbara version, is more for the sound engineering, is that you hear Lucy as the lead vocalist much more prominently throughout the backing vocal section as you do in the original. Now, part of that is better mixing. Part of that is Lucy, right? She just pierces right through. But it is, I think, mixed a little bit higher, so it comes through much clearer. But here, she just simmers right into them and joins them, and then she begins to take over. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Even with her hands. And now she's grooving. And look, I'll do anything. Like, she's really, really getting that character. I'm gonna do anything. I'm here. She's physically present. She's showing it. She's demonstrating. She's just radiating it.
I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within. It's alright if over and
That is just sick. Right? Like, and it's so easy for her. It's so easy for her. And she just kind of...
That was probably one thing I was mainly trying to say. I just couldn't think of it at the time. But yeah, she makes it look so easy. And I feel like that's what good singers do. That's one of the main things good singers do, is they make it look so easy, like breath support. Whether it's from breath support to vocal skills to whatever, they make it look so easy, right? Insane.
Like, and it's so easy for her. It's so easy for her. And she just kind of almost sets you up for looking down, but then flips up to almost surprise you. Oh my goodness.
it's alright if over and over again. What do I do?
And such a beautiful flip into the head voice there. And again, she does it, I think, if I recall it correctly, similar to how Barbara does in terms of switching to the head voice at the end of that phrase. But it's just so pretty. So pretty.
What do I do?
And so then the whole thing repeats back to the top musically. I think you heard me, or saw me commenting on that when it does. And then we go into the second verse, right?
With you eternally mine, in love there is no measure of time. We planned it all at the start, you and I live in each other's hearts. We may be oceans away.
Look at that. We may be. I mean, we may be. Like, she's really grooving with it here.
Other's hearts. We may be oceans away. You feel my love. I
Feel.
hear what you say.
She's just painting a picture for us.
No truth is ever a lie. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all.
We've got to talk about that. For many, many reasons. For one, I wonder if she was tempted to take that up an octave mid note, because she easily could have pulled it off, and to me it feels like it naturally wants to go there. But she chose to stay true to the original version, right? But my goodness, she could have held that.
Which, I mean, to be honest, I am gonna say something a little bit that is a little bit against A-Aron, kind of, sort of, not really, and that is Lucy. Yes, Lucy probably could have gone further, because good lord, we have seen her breath support and it's unbelievable. So she definitely could have gone longer with that hold. But I feel like also in a way you have to, as an artist, you have to think at the same time, like, what would fans enjoy, really? What I mean by that is, what would fans enjoy? Me stick to the original a little bit more, or probably hold this note a little bit longer and extend it a little bit to the point where it's not necessarily the same from the original. So, I don't know, there's some things that you have to think about as far as, like, are fans gonna like that? Because, and look, people are gonna say fans don't really care as far as how long you hold a belt. Trust me, they point out everything. Trust me. So that's just one thing I sit there and think about, is like, are fans really, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like it would be good if she did hold it a little bit longer, but at the same time, it's also good that she at least played it smart a little bit and still stayed to the original a little bit, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Twice, 3 times as long. It was so easy for her. Now, I didn't get the feeling from Barbara that she was out of breath, but I've always thought that part was a little bit of a strain for Barbara, who is one of the legends, right? Now, it doesn't come across that way, but being a musician, I've kind of always heard it that way.
I doubt she was out of breath, necessarily. She probably just flat out didn't want to go longer, is my guess. But I doubt she was out of breath. Good artists like, for example, Barbra Streisand and Lucy Thomas work on their breath support like it is unreal. Their breath support ends out being just this unbelievable thing. She is giving the song what it calls for not to try how long she can hold a note, called it being a pro. Exactly, Tommy, exactly. You could tell I was trying to say something like that. I was just, yeah. But no, exactly.
No. Maybe I'm overanalyzing, maybe I'm being overcritical, but here, this was absolutely easy for her in terms of her breath control. On top
You're basically not trying to overwork yourself. It's basically.
And I gotta hand it to Barbara as well, because she did the same thing. Straight note, and then she brought in the vibrato and had a really, fast vibrato that was completely controlled, although again, it did feel like at the end of Barbara's sustained note there that she was running out of steam. The control that Lucy demonstrates here is absurd. It's just absurd. The way that she brings in that vibrato and the way that she controls it, this is an absolute masterclass. Right? I mean, the whole thing is. But right here, this moment, you could literally conduct an hour-long masterclass on vocals with just this right here. You absolutely could.
No truth is ever a lie. I stumble and fall.
All right, here we go.
Give you it all.
She held it straighter much longer than I even realized. I'm already thinking she's starting a little bit of vibrato, but I was wrong, not yet.
Is ever a lie. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all.
Right here, I think. There. Oh my goodness! And look at her grooving. And now we go to the coda, right? So you have the two verses, and then you go to the coda, where it changes up a little bit. And this is where it almost feels like they've actually switched to a minor, because the backing chords for the chorus here are actually a little different and hold true more to minor than the switching to major and minor that we saw earlier. So it almost really does feel like a key change. And we hear a wonderful, amazing, just amazing sound from Barbara. And then Lucy goes and demonstrates, oh, I can do that too. And I feel like it's even better because here I feel and sense Lucy's emotion.
Okay, I'm sorry, but great call, Sam. Sam is going to be a judge someday on Texas Has Talent. Is that even a show? But no, I was about to say, which we're almost done with this video, good lord. This was long. Long reaction, 50 minutes, but just about. But, good one, Tommy. But, no, what I was about to point out was exactly what he said,
Whereas
here.
I can do that too. And
Right here. It's kind of funny to think about how Lucy, in a way, I know she's not, but Lucy reminds me of one of those people where like you see someone doing this and you're like, oh, I can do that too. Basically one of those people where it's kind of like, wait, hold on, I don't want to be left out, I can do this too. That's Barbra Streisand and Lucy Thomas.
And I feel like it's even better because
Again,
here
funny to think about. It not really, but it's funny to think about.
I feel and sense Lucy's emotion, where as she leads into that final chorus, she's actually changed her sentiment. She's proud, she's happy, she's arrived. It's a very different feeling from the first two verses. Listen to this. Yes! Look at her. She smiles. She is just...
I know how it feels. What a woman can do. It's a
And you hear a little bit of an overtone on that note, I believe, or undertone, really.
and I'm talking to you. I know how it feels. What a woman can do. It's
Yes, there is an overtone on that. My goodness. Listen to that.
what a woman can do. It's over and over again. I am a woman in love.
Look at her just grooving.
I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within. It's a lovely thing, over and over again.
That final note that she holds, the when she says again, it's incredible. Insane.
Oh
Incredible.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. She is absolutely one of the best, and I know many of you will say she is the best. I'm still not going to go there. I'm not. I'm sorry if you don't like that. That's fine. There's so many incredible vocalists, but she's absolutely one of the best vocalists.
So that is one thing that I can agree with A-Aron is and by the way, am I actually saying his actual name, or let me know down in the chat or in the comments. But that's one thing I'll agree with A-Aron is, like, there are people, and this is not just Lucy Thomas, right? This is everywhere. This is Angelina Jordan, this is Life in 3D, this is Emily Linga, this is everyone. Literally everyone that I've reacted to so far. Their fans say they're the best. Again, I'm not going to go there exactly just because I'm not the type of comparing person. I don't like to compare other artists to other artists, right? Just because to me it's not fair, right? To me it's not fair because they're both individually great artists in their own way. So it's not even fair at that point, right? To compare both their skills, right? So, I mean, you can argue that all you want in the end, but in the end, in the end, it just really doesn't get you anywhere because they're both great. They're both really good as artists on their own. And they both do separate things that make them as popular and as iconic as they are. So, I mean, I'm not going to go on that train ride. I'm not going to dive down into that conversation. But, like, for example, I think Tommy can agree with me because I think Tommy's been around one of the streams that I was talking about this. I'm not going to compare just because, again, Lucy is an artist that, again, Lucy, she does stuff that makes her popular as she is. Same thing with Angelina Jordan. Same thing with The Warning. Same thing with Emily Linga. There are so many artists that just flat out do their own separate things that make them as iconic as they are today, currently, where it's like, it's not even fair to compare that, you know? So, that's what I say. That's what I say. But, yeah.
That's fine. There's so many incredible vocalists, but she's absolutely one of the
Well, I will say, she is definitely 100% sure one of the best vocalists out there.
best vocalists alive today for sure. That is without a doubt.
Okay, I forgot I put a lie, but whatever.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that. She is in a class of her own in terms of just raw technique. I think part of vocals is
I'm in the same boat as you, Steve.
performance, and we're starting to see more of that here. I think she has a lot of room to grow for that perspective. I think we'll start to see more of that, but we saw a huge jump up from the last reaction I did of her, which was, I think, a fairly recent original of hers. So tremendous amount of growth in a short period of time. And that right there shows that she's working hard. It's not just chance. It's not happenstance that we see that kind of growth in that shorter period of time.
Personally, I can't stand AJ's singing voice or style, but she's doing something right, otherwise she wouldn't be so popular. So good luck to anyone who can make a career out of pleasing other people. Exactly. Steve and Tommy are the MVPs of this stream.
Which is very, very exciting for where she's going to go to next. Now, I have a slew of requests from you all, from many of the people
Exactly what Steve just said. Now, look, there are people that can't necessarily stand Angelina's voice or other artists' voice. Some artists that I react to currently right now, like for example AJ, probably Emily as well, and several other artists, that they can't really stand their voice, but they respect the fact that what they do is why they're so popular. They still respect it, even though they don't listen to them, they still respect it. And that's what I feel like is important. Not necessarily the fact that it's hard because I'm trying to say this without getting on people's nerves. Thanks, Sam. If we all liked the same thing, the world would be a boring place. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it probably would. Yeah, just overall, well, I'm not even gonna talk. Exactly what Steve Cox says. I love AJ. Okay, I love her music specifically. But I'm not the one, or am gonna be the one that is gonna compare that to someone like Lucy Thomas, just because they both do stuff separately that make them individually popular as they are right now, and they both are incredible artists in their separate ways. So I'm not gonna go in and just straightforward compare Lucy Thomas to Angelina Jordan, or the same thing around Angelina Jordan to Lucy Thomas. Like, it's just not gonna happen. You can make that argument, but I'm not.
Now, I have a slew of requests from you all.
This is the most I've talked in a reaction.
From many of the people I thanked at the beginning in terms of next Lucy reactions. But look,
My
if
voice
you're
is
here,
tired.
You're still at this video and you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do yourself a favor so you do not miss another one of these. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. I look forward to your comments. Guys, I've missed you as much as you've missed me, so thank you
Well, now you are, Tommy.
for for being patient with me. This was an absolute joy.
Which, by the way, that MVP thing that's not a part of the that's not a part of the reaction channel. I just decided to do that. So
Me. So thank you for being patient with me. This was an absolute joy. She smashed the crap out of this. The last thing I want to say is, we talked about the coda and building up, and she showed that emotion. She painted a picture where she told a story throughout. And, it just felt almost like a dream, which was very different. It's not better or worse that Lucy's portraying it this way than Barbara, right? I think in terms of her performance, Lucy outshined the crap out of Barbara, period. But in terms of the
what the heck? This has been an hour stream. Like, what?
Telling and, the way that she portrayed
An hour-long reaction.
I feel like we saw
Get ready, guys.
Dynamics. We saw differences. We saw different interpretations. We saw her building and growing and changing emotions throughout, whereas that almost felt almost even keeled. And I'm not talking moment to moment, because we got a lot of that in Barbara's performance. That's not at all what I'm talking about, but overall sentiment is what I'm referring to, right? Barbara was painting one particular picture, and she made it very clear and did an exceptional job at that. Whereas it felt like Lucy was painting a picture of an evolving character that was getting a hold of herself as she realizes she's in love and she's willing to do everything, but there's vulnerabilities, there's complexities that go with that, which are right in alignment with the music as well as the composition. Right? It's very thematic with the composition to actually start to change it up, especially as it switches more into that dominant minor. I don't know if I've ever said dominant minor, but it becomes the modality, right, as we get back into that coda, which is very different.
Well, if not, A-Aron, first time, now you said it.
From her at that moment, and you feel her rejoice, which is actually almost counterintuitive, because typically minor is more sentimental and more more sad, just in general, right? And so it's interesting that we get that feeling there, but it matches, it works. She makes it work, and she really shines. So this was an
Hey, you see hour-long reactions all the time, right? You see hour-long reactions to, like, movies and stuff like that. So, and sometimes hour-long, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, maybe there's sometimes music. But I'm not gonna lie, this was long.
absolute masterpiece,
Appreciate that, Steve.
master class, and I am super blessed and honored to have done this reaction for you. I hope you love it. Please go ahead and subscribe, like this channel. I look forward to the next ones. Thank you much, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.
Hey, I do that too. Anyways, but yeah, overall, I'm not gonna make this outro as long as this entire reaction has been. I'm not gonna say much just because I basically said everything that needed to be said during the reaction. So all I'm gonna say is, I mean, yes, everything that A-Aron pointed in this reaction was perfectly on point. Exactly what I have been basically trying to at least point out this entire Lucy Thomas journey, rabbit hole, and everything else. Just an amazing voice, and again, like I mentioned, Lucy Thomas is just beyond amazing, beyond comparable. Again, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of comparing people just because it's not fair. Each artist has their separate ways of popularity, right? Each artist does different things that make them popular specifically, and I respect that. But overall, guys, if you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I watched the 9th Lucy Thomas watch party. You did too. Love that also. Appreciate that, Steve. There'll be another Lucy Thomas watch party. I have to look at my schedule, but at some point there will be another one. Sometime this week, either sometime maybe this weekend, or like early next week. I have no idea, but at some point here soon there will be another one. But MVR most valuable reactor. Okay, I appreciate that. I didn't know that was a award, but now it is. If you guys enjoy it, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below in the comment section for any requests. Type the artist, song by the artist, and I'll make sure to react to it. Same thing with Throwback Thursday. And as always, guys, if you have any more Lucy Thomas requests, just comment below and I'll make sure to react to it. I promise they will not be an hour long this time. Shout out to Anna Cruz 4642 for this request, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out, guys.